We are in Scotland. This is the second day of riding, but I didn't vlog the first one. We're at the Golfy, did lots of media stuff. Today, we're going to check out Glentress. Now, I've never actually ridden anything in Glentress other than the odd few trails that I've raced on over the last few years, which was probably 2 or 3 years ago as well. And a lot has changed. They've had a massive investment. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the Glentress Trail Centre as well as some of the off-piste stuff. First though, we started here at the Riders Retreat, had a coffee, a bit of cake, and from here you can start your ride to ride up to Glentress. And there are some trails over here that finish just by here as well. So Riders Retreat is a hotel as well as a cafe and a bar, so if you are in the area, check them out. Just wasn't going to be riding this beast today because we got it out of the storage of the place we've been staying, which is called Inner Haven in Innerleithen, which is an incredible Airbnb which is cyclable from the Golfy. You're so close, we're literally talking like 10 minutes to get to the Golfy. Anyway, we were staying there this morning, got it out of the conservatory, realised that this here bolt was missing. Totally gone. So at some point it fell off yesterday, didn't even notice, but luckily we also brought Ryons with us. So my one, which is the 2024 model, and Todd's, which is now Jim's much newer full-on downhill bike, which as it happens has exactly the same size bolt as a Wild, so we can continue to ride it today, but it was just a mild panic. Check out the new glasses from Melon. Gone for a different colourway, so the grey and the blue, which I quite like, but the same sort of lens as my other one. If you would like some, drop me a message or a comment and I'll tell you how to get a pair yourself with either a little free prize or a discount. We are off. Just had a quick suspension check. My rear shock had leaked quite a bit overnight. That's probably because that bolt was missing. It was working way too hard. Check the fork as well, just in case. Seems all good. So excited to be heading off. So I don't know how much of the flow stuff we'll do at Glentress because it's suddenly got really windy. So we've been advised to stay away from that. This is the top car park, so we came up the fire road. You've got a little cafe up the top here. Lots of good bits of signposting that shows you how far other good riding spots in the country are. That's pretty cool. I like how they've got FOD on there. We are lost, following Jim's nose and his memory, and it's all changed, so actually we are, well, we don't even know. So we're going back down to where I took a little clip of that sign where the cafe is, and we are going to go back there, and then he's going to see if he recognises something after that. Got some advice and we have directions, and we are now on the correct track. And I recognise this bit because this was part of a couple of times when I did race here in Scotland. Glentress has its off-piste, which are tricky, but it also has a lot of more family blue chilled out type training as well. Trails. I was watching Jim go up the Strava line. I want to follow this for the sake of following it. Don't feel like if you come to Glentress or even to the borders that you have to ride death stuff. You've got the 7 Stains loops, which some of the stuff's around here. You've got your blues, greens, reds, black trail centre, plus your off-piste. There's actually loads of stuff that you can do regardless of your level. Also kind of makes sense if you want more of a chill day, because there's cafe at the bottom, cafe at the top, so there's lots of different places to stop, and because it's like a trail centre-y bit for the most part, you can do a bit of run, end up in the cafes, etc. So that's nice. And if you've got kids, it also has a play area at the back of the top cafe, which is a nice touch. This is the mast that I remember that we would go to stage 1 of any of the races that I've done, and I forgive Jim for getting us lost because you can see that a lot of this stuff here is new, and that's probably why it all looked different, but I'm keen to start doing some descending. On this before, struggled like hell. We're going to try this side first. Okay. Yep, let's go.
Do it.
Oh, very rutty. So I'm going to need to let my eyes adjust for the bottle kind of look with the glasses a bit. So I should have stayed up on the left there. I remember. Although to be fair, coming off that bit would probably be a bit tricky. What's this? Whoa. I remember a photographer would always sit on that corner. And I'd have do a shit corner every time. Because I was like busy looking at the photographer and worrying about the corners and like not really thinking about what I was doing. And they're quite tight corners actually, with quite a bit of loosey, shaly stuff. So what I might have to do on Strava is, before I turn it to e-bike, is have a look and compare the speed. So I'll be interested to see that. Keep going. Oh, damn! Wanted to compare my Strava time. So probably not going to get PB because we had to stop the gym's get up this nerve trap in his well, the thing is his shoulder anyway, it makes him feel like really numb in the arm, so yeah, we had to stop for that, which is a shame. But I suppose the thing with Strava is you've got like different segments anyway, so probably fine. But although I won't be quicker on that, might be quicker on this, so we'll see. I was just saying about, so after checking the shock, I wanted to check my fork as well. I think my shock pump had a bit of a whitey, misread it. Feels pretty hard now, but I can always adjust it. Just to mean like redo it later. I have softened it a bit for now to see if that helps. So these are like official trails, but not like your trail centre trails. So they've got names, etc., but they're not like, you wouldn't come here on a trail bike. Nice. Like them.
That's very different like that than when it was racing.
I remember coming up here in the races on a normal bike, I had my orange Alpine 6, and before that Specialized Status, the year before that, and oh my god, there was no pedaling up there with those. That was a pushing, and I was fit, but it was always in the sun. It was always 1,000 degrees, there was 1,000 people around, and it was just miserable. This is actually quite enjoyable. So we're now doing a stage that I couldn't do racing, and when I say I couldn't do it, I actually had to get off in bits. Okay. So we'll see how we get on.
Do you want me to go steady and you try and keep up?
I'm just going to ride it.
Okay, let's go.
So obviously we haven't got the Strava comparison of the other one because of the stopping, but we should have some Strava comparison of this one. Straight away my fork feels better. So little trail tip, if you think you've done something like what I've done, you can adjust how how firm things are without touching your PSI, and that's quite a good rule. So generally speaking, you shouldn't need to adjust if you've got like a factory type board like this. You shouldn't really need to be adjusting your PSI all the time. Obviously you're going to check you haven't had any leakage and stuff, but it's a general kind of fit and forget. But what you can tweak as you go is your things like your compression, your rebound. So your rebound actually controls a lot of how rough it feels. So you think compression is like how firm or whatever, but the rebound plays a really big part because it's obviously your fork returning at you, and the faster it returns, the firmer it's going to feel. So that's a really good kind of tip to keep you going on the trail like this. It's not perfect, it doesn't feel as good as it did before, but it's 110 times better than the first track I did, where I felt like I wasn't going to be able to hold on the whole way down, so that's good. But I do prefer my actual set, so I will put it back. So far so good on this trail. Bloody hard to see, but then I always found Scotland trails were like that because it's very dense, thick. So my ankle, I can just kind of start to feel it. So it's a little bit tired from yesterday. Just done a little check to make sure it is on the pedal. Because one of the things is I can't always tell what position it is on the pedal, because when it gets locked like it is now, it wants to stand upright with the toes down. But that makes it really hard for me to think about where it is. And obviously, if my foot is about to fall off, I kind of need to know so I can adjust. But considering the riding we did yesterday, I am really pleased with how it feels today. Had to obviously stop running for this trip, so I could ride every day, or at least as many days as possible. We going? Oh, I think that was a line there, maybe. No, is this the track? So yeah, basically managing a lot better than it was this time last year. We didn't come here to Glentress, but we were in Scotland in May last year, and it is nearly May. It's nearly May again now. But yeah, I mean, last year I wouldn't have been able to do anything like this. Yeah, I'm not talking, I'm trying to concentrate where the track goes. It's so well ridden in, I don't think that actually helped. Didn't get off once.
I knew you'd ride with that alright, because you weren't that far behind me.
No, what do you know what held me up is I got to one bit and I was like, where am I going?
Yeah, and that big rocky bit that was really gnarly in the race, you just go round it anyway on that bit. Then,
yeah, so as I naturally kind of went to the side of it and then looked at it. That's it. And I was like, oh, I remember that feature.
And then it was about 50 yards after that where it's quite gnarly.
Yeah.
A few gnarly bits, but they're not in the dry. You got so much grip down there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's actually quite easy, really.
Yeah, it was. Well, you say that, but
Physical,
when one of the times I did race it, it was dry and I couldn't ride it.
Ah.
So it's just me. An explore of a trail that we found, which we probably both went a little bit fast on, not knowing where we were going, and we both nearly had a couple of oopsies, me actually crashing into Jim nearly. So this is the thing with following people, it's good for footage, but if it goes wrong it could be quite bad. Our plan and what we did at the golfer yesterday, which is instead of trying to find specific things from memory or recommendation, we're just going to ride stuff as we see it unless we're absolutely sure it's there, because although we're on e-bikes there's not an infinite amount of battery. So we are going to run out of battery at some point, even if our energy levels are good. Meaning, really, we don't want to be wasting our time riding up, down to try and find something when we could have just gone down the trail that we saw. So this is one of the ones we saw when we came up.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm going to head down this. Probably not going to stay quite as close to Jim this time. We have established I pop a lot more than he does when he's jumping. And that obviously nearly caused, I might include it if it looks any good, because I did it in media mode, and that caused me to almost go in the back of him, which I'd rather not do. Where even is this trail? I'm not even sure if this is like a official trail or one that was like kind of made and then half official or half not. Really random. More river crossings. Wow, that was nearly a crash. Some slippery rocks in that. Full power, eating it. I don't know if you can really tell whether it's the same as when you're going down, it doesn't look steep, but this is a really steep climb, and well, other than making sure my front wheel stays on the ground, like virtually no effort required.
Shall we?
Yes, let's have a go. Oh, it looks dark. Typical Scotland dark. Whoa, didn't quite see the light there. My eyes are not working. I think I do remember this. I think I remember this was like one of the stages I was actually like, I can ride a bike, compared to almost everything else where it's like, I can't. Ooh, messed that up. Actually, it wasn't that bad. Double! That was nice. Yeah, I remember this. You see the line, I think the line's high. Definitely didn't do that line before. Probably not that either. Or that. Or that. There's definitely things that I ride now that I would not have picked to ride. Line choices, etc. Just wouldn't have done it. Would have been scared, unhappy. Like, I would have thought that this was really steep, like I would have felt these corners were steep and all that kind of stuff, whereas now I'm just like, that's not even a bad corner, just show me where the line is, motherfucker. Oh, I struggled so much on that track when I raced it.
That's easy, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have thought that that was like steep corners and all sorts. I was like,
yeah,
just hopping over roots and high lines there instead.
See, this might be...
So happy with that last trail, honestly. I cannot tell you, when I raced it, just, that's why I really wanted to come back here, because I wanted to see if I've actually improved. Like, I know I've improved and I feel like I've improved, but somehow, sometimes you have to go back to a place that really scared you before, just to test it out. And did a load of clips on that previous trail that you saw, and now we're going to try navigate ourselves over to the main Glentress Trail Centre to show you some of the stuff over there before we head back to Riders Retreat to do a quick bit of editing before we go to have pizza, the accommodation that we've been in the last 2 nights, which was Inner Haven. I'm good at remembering.
Ready?
Yep, let's go. It looks very dark in here. Oh, it's actually not that bad. It's worse from a distance. some bits of the corners are really wide and other corners are really tight. Although I am going to change my fork back to its settings, I've kind of got used to it. I could just I might just like firm it up, but I think I will do the PSI just because it is rougher. And because I'm running the back so soft at the moment, it kind of makes it feel a little bit unbalanced in places, I think. Oh, my ankle, come on, don't do it now. That was lucky. Jam of an ankle, ankle jam. Oh, it just wanted to do that. So what it did there, which is really scary when riding, you know, you shouldn't ever put your toes facing down. Well, when it gets jammed into the position the heel can't go down. And just as we started to tip into that rocky section there, it just decided that it wanted to get jammed, which would have been really, really bad if that happened. But luckily, just about managed to persuade it just to drop the heel. But to be fair, can't blame it because it's been taking some abuse the last couple of days. Ooh, ow. Oh. Come on, heel, go down. Oh. Yes, some nice berms. Berms we can do. Berms, it relaxes. It's not getting banged about. Jumps are fine because it is like kind of one ponce or just like one bonk. What hurts it is the rattle, but there's no amount of setting that I can find at the moment which is enough to help it. So just have to live it. Oh, that hurt my ankle. Yeah. Oh, you know where it jammed?
Yeah.
Just as you drop into that rocky bit, there. And it was, yeah, my foot jammed like that. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, go down. We are going to take the Trail Centre Blue back to the Glentress Visitor Centre, because this is the Bird's Nest bit, which is a higher up car park where we got to all the off-piste stuff that we've raced on. I'm guessing this is the diversion. There's loads of diversions in here because of all the forestry work going on at the same time across the Tweed Valley.
Just ride it and if you see a black route, take it.
Yeah, I reckon. So this is obviously a blue. You have to watch some areas of the country, because some areas of the country blues are a hell of a lot harder than other areas of the country's blue, but we'll find out in a minute what it's like. There are apparently black bits coming off, red and black bits, so if we see a diversion we're going to head on to them, but so far it's what you'd expect from a blue, really. Flowy, quite pleasant, very nice in the trees. Some of the worst crashes you'll actually have will be on little blue trails, purely because you get all cocky and start pushing, and they've got like flat corners and the odd janky bit you didn't expect and you thought you were a pro riding blacks. This is nice though, actually. Nice bit of rollers, get a bit of air if you want to. So the 7 stains that I mentioned earlier, I think this part is one of them. I keep seeing signs for that. So if you're into a bit more of like trail kind of riding, I think that's the sort of stuff to look at. Yep. Nice. And flat corner practice. Foot back on. So the sign said there was a tree, that's the tree. Oh, not a bad diversion as diversions go. Bit of loam. I like that they've done a diversion and not just shut the trail. That's quite refreshing. We're still trail centre, but we're following a red to black route now. So if you know things about trail centres, you'll know that often it's not just about how the trail goes down, it's also about how the trails go up, how long they go up, or how steep and technical it is, not just load of like features down the hill. So that is one thing to consider. Like, don't always rule yourself out of a black at a trail centre. But trail centre, on the whole, is a mixture of things that make it black, and it might not be the type of things that you think. You might just need a bit more fitness, a little bit more climbing skill, multitude of things really. So don't count yourself out, but be mindful though. Again, if you've never done it before, you don't know what features there are, so you don't want to be going flat out blind into something. I'm going to do the red. This Jim's done the black. Then if you watch his, you'll be able to see the difference. Whoa, tree. Whoop. Nice line. Nice line. Yeah, I thought as you were doing the black, I'd do the red. Yeah, how was the black?
Good actually.
Yeah?
Not black, but...
Yeah, well, it's Black Trail Centre.
Yeah.
There's a difference, isn't there? Not being gusty right now as I'm about to say this, but I have decided not to do the stuff here, the new stuff, because a lot of it's jumps, which is fine, but there's like really strong gusts of wind. I've had a really good day. I want to ride tomorrow, and then we're up to the Highlands to Lagan, and I really want to ride up there. So what I don't need is gravel rash, because see this ground here, all loose and dusty and very, very dry. That is exactly what the trails are like here, and that is historically where I've always come off and had really big crashes and lost a lot of skin, and I don't really want to do that right now. So I'm going to sit here and wait for Jim. All this area here is skills area, and then hopefully we'll find one in a minute that will take us all the way back down to the Riders Retreat. So take it a little bit easy, because it's so windy. When I was sat on the bench there was like no wind, and now there is. I also put my fork back to the those harder settings, and regret that now, because I didn't think I was actually going to be doing much on the way down. Is us done. We're going to roll back to Riders Retreat, edit up our media for today. It's still glorious sunshine, as you can see behind me. The wind's picked up. Apparently from tomorrow afternoon the Borders is going to get hit with some bad weather. Sorry about that, guys, as we've left, but brilliant, really good day at Glentress. Really happy to ride some of the trails, a bit like yesterday in Golfy, where it was good to go back, see how I can deal with that kind of stuff now. Haven't lost any bolts today so far, so tomorrow should be all good. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments, give it a like, and if you'd like to ride or show us some cool places, then feel free to hit us up. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you at the next one.